Alright, hello everybody. This is going to be a bit different than usual. Usually, I always have those kinds of cards for every character that I cover, but this time around I'm covering 106 characters. So I hope you guys don't mind if I do not actually go out of my way to do that, because that would take me 20 to 30 hours. Yeah, it would take too long for me to piece everything together one by one. The Sacred Seal video took me 10 hours of piecing stuff together before I could even get around to recording, which was 2 hours. So, yeah, I kinda want to avoid having to put 20 to 30 hours in a video. At least, for now. So, this video will be a bit more freestyles, and since I don't have the card next to me, I might actually have to Google some characters that I'm not too familiar of what they have to fodder, or to just make sure that what my information is correct. So this video will be obviously a lot less professional than what it usually is, but I hope you guys can understand. It's just I don't have that much time. And at the same time, I hope it's not too long, because I kind of did a 24-hour stream yesterday. I'm still fucked up in time. So, yeah. Let's get on it. This will most likely be a long-ass video, so get something to eat, I guess. Alright, Sita. So, Sita has 45 flyers. You should always have at least one in your barracks. 45 flyers is less important than gold flyers, mind you. Gold flyer tends to be the preferred course of action for flying units. But 45 is also still very relevant for blade tome team comps, or a team comp with at least one blade tome. In my case, I always use two melee, two mages, so 45 flyer is absolutely required on these. This helps you deal with DC units and such. She also has darting blow, which, while not very fantastic anymore, it is still a okay A slot. But requiring 5-star just kind of kills that either way. She also has Armor Slayer. Armor Slayer is very good in Arena right now. What can I say? She's pretty solid, but nothing amazing. Most of her kit are things that can be found elsewhere, easier in case of darting blow. She is the sole fodder in the 3 to 4-star pool to actually have 45 flyer, mind you. But yeah, so I'm going to put her A+. This usually is kind of a longer process, but you'll understand most of my process because I'll go in depth about every character. So, alright, Cain. Brave Sword, Wings of Mercy, and that's pretty much all that's relevant on him. He also has, I believe, Escachuon, but who cares about that? It's those types of build that runs those defensive special tend to be very specialized, in which case Escachuon is not fantastic to just keep a copy for it. Thankfully though for Cain, Brave Sword is not great, but Wings of Mercy is fantastic. The reason why I say Brave Sword is not great is because you don't really have those very eye-sealing attack stat unit for red. It tends to be mostly speed base. And also, in general, swords tend to have better options. Even for the other two-color, brave weapons don't tend to be that great anymore. But Wings of Mercy is fantastic. Most Dancer can abuse this. Heaters can as well, and also ranged nukes. All of this are all really good choices, really. So Wings of Mercy by itself is honestly about equal as to what Seedic provides. So I'm just going to put him in A+, just as well. Next is Chrom. Chrom has Aether. Aether is the best scoring skill for special. Obviously, certain skills will equal it. Gale Force is another inheritable one that does. But Aether tends to be the easiest one to obtain because it's red. And when you summon for red, you don't summon for like 1 or 2 shot and then you give up. A lot of good units are in red, therefore you'll be summoning in red quite a bit. Still, obviously, Gale Force is also a fantastic option. And I believe he's the only unit with Aether that's available in the 4 to 5 star pool. Gale Force is not bad and all, but unless you have Heavy Blade or Flashing Blade support, it doesn't work too well. So, yeah, Aether is a fantastic skill. Or obviously, there's also Bullfighter that can really abuse Gale Force. Now, he's definitely a solid unit as well. But frankly, we're just talking about fodder here. There are units I'll talk about that are actual really good unit that you should not fodder under any circumstances, but those are far and few between. That's just how I feel though. Chrom is basically Aether. He also has Spur Death. Who cares? Who cares? So yeah, basically Aether and that's it. Now, this one is going to be a bit low on the list, but let me explain. I'm putting him in A because in a lot of scenario, Aether don't matter. It only really matters in arena and in certain set that really want to have the sustain and can actually get it easily. For example, Brave Ike, because he gets a CD-1 weapon and Steady Breath. So he procs it pretty well, but he already has it in the base kit still. This is mostly for an example. If you have a slaying plus a slaying weapon plus Aether plus okay-ish speed, because if you're too low on speed, you can actually like just run something like Ignis or literally anything really matters. It don't matter at that point. You don't even need slaying weapons if you really want to run Aether anyway. And you have Steady Breath. So yeah, Aether is a bit situational, is the main thing. Obviously, if what you need is for scoring and you haven't really done a full core team, you could possibly think of him as a S- candidate for fodder that you should always have. He's one of those units you always want to keep one off in case you change one of your unit in your core team. So you can actually give said unit Aether if required. That's about it though. Oh, and for Cain, keep 2 copies. That's the sweet spot in my opinion. Wings of Mercy is fantastic, especially for dancers, and you can always expect to have maybe a dancer here or there getting added to the game. For example, Lara is still not in the game. The only actual Dagger dancer of the franchise. Why? Because she's a thief that promotes into a dancer. The only one case of the franchise. Oh well, whatever. Tethys is not also in the game. PA is probably coming since Summer Festival is apparently not performance art, because performance art is not this month. As a matter of fact, it's next month. So we might get another banner of dancers. Great. Anyway, enough getting off topic. Sorry. Sorry. Corrin. Corrin gives Death plus 3 and Obstruct 2, as well as Dragon Fang. Dragon Fang is honestly one of the worst special. Certain characters can actually abuse it. For example, Raven, if you do not plan on abusing Desperation, can really use it. With Heavy Blade or Flashing Blade. You hit once, get 2 charge, get hit, that's 1 more charge, and you can proc Dragon Fang. It's probably his best special. Still, it's very situational, so honestly, Corrin could probably just get Fodder all the way. Def plus 3 can also be fantastic on heaters, but so is Fortress Def, so it really depends on how you feel. Personally, I would say he has next to no fodder. I definitely put him in C tier as a result. It's just, he doesn't have anything to bring to the table. Now, Draug is one of those units that I was speaking about earlier. He's one of those units you'd rather keep everything off, because he's the best scoring free-to-play red unit of the entire game. He scores better than Soleil by Alpha Merge. There are still no preferential weapon for any 160 to 164 BST unit. So he's quite literally the best scoring unit. You do not need DC on him. Steady Breath can do the same. If you're talking about IV, Speed Plus is best early on, but as you start scoring higher and higher, Def Plus will start to do better for you. As for the Bane, it's usually res minus. Really, look at his res. I don't think he gives too much of a shit at that point. He does not have any super boons, so that's a shame. But yeah, Draug is really solid on that regard. Now for Fodder is also the only unit to have ward armor, which is quite literally the best C slot for any armored unit. When it comes down to non-arena purpose, because in arena it scores less than say Drive Def, which is stupid, but in all honesty, I'm just fine. I'm just happy that's the case. I don't want to deal with a full ward team, because that's just cancerous. Having to like split them apart, and depending on the map that's not even really possible, is just not great. So where would I put him? I would actually put him in S-. Ward armor is just that good. It's a fantastic skill. As for everything else he has like Brave Sword, which don't matter, Pavis, which don't matter. It's, like I said, it's all about that ward. And again, unless you fodder him for ward, you do not send him home. Unless, of course, you are like me and already have a solid plus 10 that outscore it. For example, in my case, outscore. My unit is Eirika, which, by the way, scores the same as this guy. Yeah. Let that sink in. Obviously, Eirika is more functional, but Draug is definitely a very solid unit still. Now, Eirika. Eirika's own speed and drag back. Drag back is mostly for AA sets, or as you've seen in my arena run, on your bonus unit. I say on your bonus unit because this allows you to run away from getting hurt in certain cases. Of course, if you have a B slot that synergizes with your kit, well, I mean, nothing you can really do about it now, can you? So, of course, it's not fantastic to keep. Usually you will keep her for own speed, and if you keep her for own speed, I would say keep 1 or 2 copies, not much more than this, with maybe one Matthew who also has the same fodder. That's basically all you need. As a result, I'll put her in A. Own speed is very all-purpose, mind you, which is pretty important, but it's just own speed. It's also a seal. If you actually have that one, you should probably max it. So, Eliwood. Eliwood is Axebreaker and Ward Cavalry. Now, we all know how cavalry work. They tend to really distance from each other, outside of, you know, rebuffing, essentially, with Own and Fortify with blade tomes. Ward is quite literally the worst skill for that. For cavalry, that is. It's just the wrong type of skill for the playstyle they have. Axebreaker can be useful though. It doesn't even require to be Axebreaker 3. Now, I'm not saying this on basically every front. Obviously, Eliwood is only giving Axebreaker 2, so if you're talking about Arena, don't bother. Outside of AA checks, for example, if you run like Ruby Sword plus Axebreaker on, say, Stahl, and the entire purpose of that stall is to just counter, say, Lecter and such units, it makes sense then, and it's not a bad idea. But if you're going to use them on your core base arena team, don't do that. That is a mistake. That is a mistake. So I would say he definitely has Fodder, just not fantastic one. I'll put him in B tier. Now Fir. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Fir is not the best scoring sword unit, but she is the best free-to-play sword unit of the entire game. Now I don't mean free-to-play as in, oh, you get a copy from some event. I mean free-to-play as in, you're free to play, you can get copies of her easily, and you can 5-star +10 her. She is a fantastic unit. Fodder-wise, she doesn't have a lot outside of Glacies in Speed +3. Speed +3 is it's very situational. In a lot of cases, you'll have better skills, but and also Killing Edge. Killing Edge is fantastic. You can 5-star her for Killing Edge plus, then upgrade that to Slaying Edge. She is fantastic on that front. But as a unit, Fir is insanely, vastly underrated. She is able to do most of what Eirika can do in a lot of cases. The only difference is you need to actually proc ploys to really get to the same level Eirika gets. Whereas Eirika can actually have her C and S slot completely open for anything. Like in my case, I run Drive Attack 4, but Eirika is one of the best premium units of this game. No debate. The thing with Fir is that, yeah, she's free to play, so she's meant to do less, but she still does a fuck ton. So just be careful. If you need a really good sword unit, build her. If you don't, then she's Fodder. Alright. She doesn't bring a lot to the table. Glacies is fantastic in certain cases, but it's very rare and few between, since rest tanks don't tend to be really good in arena. But Glacies can have some purpose in some, what's the word? In some GHB grinding situation. Now I know there's a better way to grind HM, which is just stupid and should not have been ever been a thing. But IS doesn't have a brain and likes to shit on people's hard work. Who knows? Good old IS. Love them. Anyway, so outside of Glacies in a certain situation in that, and Speed +3, which is somewhat useful on mostly healers who can't really have many choices for A slot, then yeah, she's not really great. I'm definitely just going to leave her in the C tier as Fodder. Personally, I keep one copy of her, because sometimes when I do grinding of GHB, Speed +3 can just do like that small amount of difference between dying and survival, but if you're using the better method that's just very boring and uncreative, then yeah, go for that. And at that point, Fir is pointless, completely pointless. No, Anna. Don't stop Anna side, boys, because she has nothing to give for the most part. She gives life and death too, and then Soph happened, and she just died forever in any kind of purpose. I call her the 2 bucks woman because all she says is just talk about her entire life when she gets summoned, which no one cares about. She has Armor Slayer, again, which is decent like Sita. She has Life and Death 2, which, alright, and then she has Obstruct. You're telling me you're making a unit with basically 19 def and 22 res with base kit. Oh wait, sorry. 18 and 21 because you 5-star her. Sure. And then you give that shit Obstruct. In what world were you born? I really want to know what fucking logic this is. So, alright. Fodder is a bust. Life and Death 2 and Armor Slayer are alright. It's just nothing amazing. It's good enough for B tier, nothing much more than this. Now Henry is fantastic fodder. This guy is the sole unit to have Green Tome Breaker. On top of that, he has Ignis. 2 very fantastic fodder. And he also has, to some extent, Raw Raven. Which, no one cares. No one cares. Do you really need to tank fucking Legendary Lin all that much? Or, I don't fucking know, some archer like Jacob, which I fight like once every 2 months. Yeah. Fantastic. Anyway, yeah, let's not give them a refine, that would be too smart. Enough about my pity thinking. This is fantastic. Green Tome Breaker can make the difference between death, like living or dying in GHB grinding. I'll be bringing up GHB grinding a lot because there's a lot of situation where that's relevant. If you like to just, I don't know, be creative. So yeah, Ignis is fantastic. This is a skill that's extremely used by a lot of melee tank, and obviously, so is Green Tome Breaker. And then you have the best skill of all, Defiant Death, Capital. So definitely one of the best fodder of red, in my opinion. I will actually put him in S tier. Hinata, S+, the end. Fury is quite literally the best fodder of this game. There is no questions here. Laslow is Axebreaker fodder. This one can go up to 3. He also has Noontime, which is not very useful in a lot of cases, but can be definitely useful if you're grinding, if you're auto-grinding, say, Tempest Trial. So, just thought I'd point that out. Which is dumb because the guy come with Soul, but let's just give him Noontime because we need Noontime in this game. So he's a step up from Eliwood, not that much though. Not by much, sorry. Now you have Lilina. Doesn't really have a whole lot. She has, I think, Blazing Flame? 300 SP special instead of 200. Which is basically a poor man's Aether. It's not bad, but I mean, she's very definitely worth foddering. The only thing she has going for her is Spur Attack 3, in my opinion. And Spur Attack 3 is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I might have been wrong on Lilina. I'm not sure if it's Blazing or Growing Flame, but whatever. In both cases, it's not fantastic. The point of the matter is, Spur Attack is probably our best use if you're planning on foddering her, and that comes down to your playstyle. Personally, I really highly value Spur Attack. You've seen me use the seal a lot with my George with Olivia tag team comp, but yeah. Not much has been obvious, really. So, alright. And it's like good enough for A tier in my opinion. But that comes down to playstyle, so I'll put her at B. Because if you're not really used to spurs all that much, it's not fantastic for you. Now, Lon'qu. Lon'qu killing edge, usual, and vantage. Alright. Vantage lost a lot of use, just because a lot of the unit that use them tend to have a lot of BST because they're armored, in which case Bold Fighter, Vengeful Fighter, So, Vantage kind of lost a lot of use. It's still definitely useful here and there. It's just not amazing anymore. That's basically all there is to it. Can definitely be useful for GHB grinding. I'll just leave it at that. Other than that, it's very situational when it's gonna be useful. So I'm gonna put it at B tier as well. I'm quite the harsh critic when it comes down to units, so. Marth has pivot and spur speed. Yay. Also escape route 2. Wow. We lived a high life, boys. And that's basically all he has. Pivot is fantastic for armored unit, especially if you're a free-to-play player. This is something I really noticed when I started playing my ult. Just how, if you do not have armor march, pivot is probably your best bet. Because you just otherwise have no movement option. And yeah, that is a bit of a problem last time I checked. So pivot is really good for that. Other than this, spur speed is probably one of the worst spurs. I've already explained why in my seal video, but to reiterate, a lot of unit you want to bait with, which is usually the playstyle that requires spurs, either that or offensive ranged units, which it can sort of use spur speed, but not that much. At that point, attack tends to be better. At least, especially with Brave Bow being a thing. But the whole point is, if you're going to bait a unit, right? Getting 4 speed on Lucas is not fucking saving your ass, is it? It's very situational how often it's gonna help you, so... honestly, don't bother. But yeah, pivot definitely has use, so it's going in B tier. Alrighty, Ogma. Oh my god, Ogma. I think Ogma only has noontime. This one I'm actually going to verify. Like noontime, brave sword, and spur attack 2, I believe, is what this guy has. Noontime Defiant attack 3, boys. Remember Defiant? I remember. And that random farm does too. It is a decent unit for AA also. If you give him an armor slayer, he has the defense to take a blow when required, and the HP to survive even Black Luna in some cases. So he can be a very decent unit with armor smasher. But that's pretty much the entire thing. Other than that, he's just straight up fodder. Fodder, that is. Olivia. Now, this is another one I would like to speak about. Olivia is a unit that is probably the best dancer still of this game. Overall, it can fit so many roles. Honestly, I would say, especially now, with the way the arena meta works, okay? Especially now. 5-star plus 10 this go. Because this helps you move around while still having rallies on 3 characters on arena. This helps you abuse your arena bonus unit. This lets you easier, what the fuck? this makes it easier for you to get your kill on your bonus unit. And she still can score stupidly high. My Olivia has a unit score of 736. Eirika has a score of 744. It's not that far apart. If it makes it easy to get you to, well, easier for you to get 4, you know, kills a map. And by the way, for those who are curious, the run I did that I posted like quite literally a few minutes ago with Frederick and all, that was my first try. That was my first try, and I got 19 out of 20 kills with Frederick. So yeah, a dancer is definitely useful, and she scores 150 BST really easily. You have to go out of your way to get a Super Bane to not be in the 150 BST. Which, by the way, you need a Super Boon to be in the 150 BST for like Pie Azura, Lene, and also Elysian Traveler Olivia. Yeah, let that sink in. She has the best BST of the entire fucking lineup of Dancer, as is. I don't understand why. She's just that good. And she can become an extremely bulky unit. I use HP minus Def plus, and I have 42 HP with 37 Def and Res. On top of Safeguard, on top of Close Def, on top of Def and Res Tactic, that's something like 56 Def and 49 Res. You can do so much with her, and as a result, you can use her as a unit to soften other units for Frederick to kill, for example, this week. So I would definitely say 5-star plus 10 her, you will not regret it. And she's also a fantastic unit for basically any content of this game. Just saying, a dancer that can actually take hits, unlike Azura, is absolutely insanely useful. Now, Fodder itself, she has own attack 3. Yay, own attack 3, guys. Remember own attack 3? I remember. Own attack 3 is about as relevant as own speed, really, so it's going to go in A tier. Palla. Palla gives gold. This one is going to be pretty easy to put here. S-. It's the same reasoning as Draug. Actually, you know what? No, she's worth the S tier, actually. She has Moonbow, which I know, the big meme Moonbow. It's still a relevant special for a lot of characters. Fir's best special is Moonbow. Karla's best special is Moonbow. Unless you really want to go for that one fight and then just give up, in which case Draconic Aura is better for Karla. Which tends to be how Karla operates anyway. But yeah, Moonbow on top of Gold Flyers, on top of Wings of Mercy 2, which is especially relevant now with the new method of HM grinding. She's definitely S tier. In fact, with Wings of Mercy 2, if you're doing this method to grind feathers, you can consider her to be S+ tier. That's how fucking insane of a kit she has for Fodder. Remember, like, a really great unit called the Ray that failed to get power craft by Canis, let me see, a year and a half after released? Yeah, Ray, boys. I believe the only thing he has is really attack, but Ray is so fucking worthless, I don't remember what he has. I know he has Wolf Tome, which, those tends to be very, those are very, what's the word? Hit or miss. And if you score high in Arena, it's fucking worthless. Just move on, essentially. Oh, he has HP plus 5 and CRS 3. Vomit-inducing skills. I love it. 160 fucking SP cost. That's what I like to see. Now, he's C tier, obviously. I will say one thing though about Ray. Rally attack can be surprisingly useful. You heard me right. For Lord GHB auto grinding. It makes up for own attack, so you can actually save own attack fodder. But yeah, that's like the only instance I can actually say that rally attack is a good skill. Alright. Now, let's move on to Roy. Roy is a unit that I would say is definitely worth working on. But at the same time, this is a fodder video. TA is relevant to some extent, but those are mostly for arena counters, right? Arena counters, like I said before, fucking hell. Axebreaker Stall, you could probably just run literally any weapon, just like base ass Slaying Edge from Ares if you want to, if you are so inclined, with TA3 and Axebreaker and just proc Bonfire or something like this. Be safe and beat them. That's an option. But that's pretty much all he has going for him, outside of, you know, being a dragon killer and all, which is fantastic, but obviously this really depends on one player to another. If you want to build Roy, go ahead. Binding Blade is definitely worth it for at least an arena counter. Alright. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. TA is very much relevant. Oh boy, reposition! This is going in S+. Reposition, to this day, is such a massively amazing movement skill. That's all I can say, really. And also TA2 can be useful here and there, and so can be threatened speed. Now let's go for Seliph, which I believe only has rally speed that's worthwhile. Yeah, rally speed. It also has Brash Assault, which can be useful in the AA meta, for lack of a better word. But outside of that, it's not very worthwhile. So I'm gonna put him in C tier. Now Sophia. Sophia is Fortify Res 3, and I think it might be the only very available source of Fortify Res 3. Let me verify this claim before I am actually wrong. Ah, there's also Soren. Alright, so she's one of two sources then. Fortify Res is alright. I would say it's also A tier, just like own speed and own attack. Just because, I mean, it is what it is. I would say keep one copy over at all time. Fortify Res can definitely be useful here and there. Movement fucking skills are like the bane of every account's existence. When you like start an account, I swear to God, swap is a godsend. Just because it's on so many units. Now, I'm not going to put him in S+ tier because this is not repo, obviously. This is kind of like bootleg repo. But swap definitely is useful. Still, I would not keep more than 2 copies of him, whereas repo I would literally just never get rid of a single copy. That's just how important reposition is. So Stahl is A+, purely because of swap. He also has Ruby Sword, which can be useful here and there, but not by much. Let me just check what else he has real quickly. Def +3, yeah, that's about it. His kid is basically, look, I'm Corrin V2, except I actually have an assist that matters instead of a done special. Tarja is also a very good unit to build for AA. A lot of green armored unit when you can just one-shot them with a red mage. She has Darting Blow, and that's pretty much the only thing that's relevant for her, which is not very good. I'm actually going to say it's average. I'm going to put her in B tier as a result. Like I said, I'd build at least one though. Adult Tiki is another one of those units I'd build if you haven't yet. She has Bonfire and Lightning Breath. Lightning Breath quite literally being the best breath of this game, unless the the dragon has a Pref Refine, and or Grima, or Corrin, or Summer Younger Young Tiki. The reason why I mentioned those three is because those three can go with the Windsweep, Dark Breath, Quick Repulse set, which is extremely cancerous and annoying to deal with. For people who haven't fucking dealt with this set yet, yeah, I can already tell people are going to turn their eyes like, what the fuck is that? That doesn't sound threatening, but it really is threatening. It's actually one of the most cancerous sets in Arena right now. It's the kind of thing that after you experience it, you're like, oh, right, gotcha. So yeah, definitely the type of unit I would keep at least 3 of. Bonfire is very common, and unless, like, even on Death Tank, if the Death Tank has even remotely any speed, Bonfire will do better than Ignis. Because you get attack back, proc again, and then you proc with slaying weapons. And if you have steady breath and you have no speed, so you get double, then get attack, proc Bonfire, get attack, proc Bonfire with a slaying weapon. So definitely worthwhile. S tier it is. Hello, my name is Swap-chan and Lensbreaker-chan. Yeah. Arthur is basically a better stall when it comes down to fodder. Emerald Axe is fucking garbage, but Lensbreaker and Swap are 100% relevant. So, this is going to the S- tier. Wow, I love how he's like alone at the other side of the world. Barster's Repo fodder and Spur Attack 3 fodder, S+. Bartre. Hammer, Brash Assault. Hammer is meta-defining, almost. There's just so many blue armored unit and green armored unit. The only unit you won't deal with this are essentially Zelgius. Zelgius, and the occasional Draug. So Hammer is definitely relevant. Especially for AA counters, and he's also a very fantastic unit for, AA. Having all of this def and attack stats. So, I'm actually going to put him in S- as well. Veruca comes with Glimmer and Killer Axe Plus, which then translates into Slaying Axe Plus. This is fantastic. So, Glimmer is mostly for Blade Tome, though. It has less utility overall. Still, it is definitely relevant to have the axe. So I'm going to just put her in A tier. Now you might wonder, why the fuck is Veruca A tier while Fir is C tier? They both give a killing weapon, and they both give a special. That's because Slaying Edge is, while very useful, actually, you know what? No. I would say maybe a tier higher. Oh, you also have Glimmer. You also go up a tier. My bad on that, but it's still lower. That's because a lot, and I mean a lot of unit want Slaying Axe. Either that or Slaying Hammer, when they are axe units. Did I miss another fucking Killing Edge? Don't think so. And since Axe unit uses Slaying Axe more than Slaying Edge is, then yeah, it's a bit more relevant. Like, Slaying Edge definitely has a lot of strong contender. Like, obviously there's Eirika that abuses the fuck out of it. Zelgius can also use it pretty well. It can be very annoying in IT Arena defense teams. But, like, I would be lying if I would say that it's more relevant than Veruca, because a lot of unit, right? A lot of unit that could use it already come with a cooldown minus weapon. Axe unit only has, like, what? A fucking... I think LA Hector might be the only unit in the entire game that has a slaying a legendary axe. Oh my god, that is sad. That is actually really sad. Now, Camilla, Savage Blow 3, fantastic for pain plus healers. And also Draconicora. And Brave Axe. Which, I've said before, Brave Sword is not good for sword, but it's good for axes. Frederick is a fantastic user of it, as you've seen with my arena run. Bartre can also be a fantastic user of it. There's so many like axe unit with fuck ton of attack. Like another one would be Brave fucking Hector, legendary Hector. Because he has 52 attack with 1, with attack plus, without any fucking thing buffing him. They just hit stupid high attack value, is basically what I'm getting at. So, with all this in mind, I will put her in S-. Cecilia, alright. I think it's like Escape Route 3 fodder with Gron Raven and is that it? That is garbage. That is garbo. That is absolute garbo. It really does not bring much to the table for you. So as a result, unless you don't have one yet, which I would say build her, she has a very good blade tome, even like base blade tome. I haven't given mine Ground Blade yet, Ground Blade Plus yet. I just gave her Ground Blade, normal Ground Blade, and I still use her. She still get the job done in the AA. But outside of that, fodder-wise, she's pointless. Like, she doesn't bring much to the table. In fact, I'd go as far as to say she brings almost nothing to the table. So I would put her in C. Well, I'll put her in B tier because Escape Route is a 240 SP cost skill. The thing that's good about that is B slots don't have a lot of options for 240 240 SP cost skill. You have Wings of Mercy, Escape Route 3, and then everything else is like 5-star exclusive. Which, yeah, that's right. That sucks. So it's still good to keep maybe one copy of her. Sure, she comes with hammer, attack plus 3, which is honestly the best of the bunch. Though that depends on your set. And she's also a fantastic unit with Brave Axe. Slaying Hammer is also fantastic on her.
if you go for the speed variant. She's a fantastic unit for AA. I know I'm saying this a lot, but I've been asked a lot, like, what unit should I focus on as a free-to-play user for AA, so I figured might as well just add this as well on every unit. So, yeah. Sure, she has attack +3 and a hammer, which is honestly worse than what Bartre brings. Or, no, not by much, but it is slightly worse. I will put her in A+ for the most part. That's basically what she has. And also, let's just be honest here. If you haven't built one, build one. Same thing for Faye also. Faye has Renewal 3 Fodder, which is the other 240 SP skill I forgot to mention. Someone yelling at me in the comment already. So, yeah. Let me just kill my timer before it starts. So, yeah, Faye is also a fantastic unit for AA. Lets you deal with quite a few blue units. Could also counter Lilina for AA if you have to deal with that. But outside of that, all she has is Renewal 3, which is leagues better above escape routes. I would say keep at least 2 or 3 copies of her for at least arena purposes. This is also why you see Renewal 3 a lot on units in arena. God bless Faye, fodder of everyone. Gonna put her as A+ as a result because you don't have many Renewal 3 fodder. In fact, I think she might be the only one. Frederick, hammer. Wow, never expected to say that again. Hammer is relevant in AA. Wow, who would have thunk? Speed plus Frederick, just like sure she is amazing in AA with slaying hammer. Brave Axe is also fantastic. I think you've seen enough of me to just not have to go in depth on explaining why that is. So, yeah. He also has Wings of Mercy 2 if what you're doing is the rival domain method for HM grinding. Go ahead. Wings of Mercy 2 is fantastic. You should keep every copy of him. He also has Luna on top of all this. So, just like Palla, I'm actually going to put him in S tier. Gunter has own cavalry and armored blow, but who cares about armored blow? Go away. So, yeah, as a result, I would say Gunter is... always keep 2 copies of him. This holds true for Jagan as well. So, definitely A tier. Owned cavalry and fortified cavalry are skills that make or break cavalry teams. Alkaya's Death Blow 2 and a Killer Axe plus. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the worst Beruka. If you're keeping Berukas, you don't have to bother with Alkaya, you can send him home. I will say this right now though, a lot of units you can send home. I would say don't, and do 4-star plus 10 with them. In the long run, it's gonna help you. I've done this with basically every unit that appears here. Every single one of them. So, yeah. Moving on. Merric. Also a decent flyer counter if you find these in arena. Outside of that, he doesn't have much to give. I believe he has like Spurez? Let me check. Yeah, Spurez 3. Who cares? Oh, and if you 5-star him, you can get all of the HP plus 5! Whoa! Who cares? It's fucking not helping. Alright, so Merric is not great, obviously. Spur Res is more used than Spur Speed, mind you, but if that's all you have, go away. Oops. Nino has Ground Blade in on attack 2. Ground Blade is quite literally the best green tome, still to this day, because IS has no idea what to do now. They're like, oh, let's throw a bunch of ideas, and then they realize, wait, shit, it doesn't stick to the wall, does it? And that should be something I should actually get Tarja up in tier, because I forgot to mention she has Radar Blade, or however you want to fucking pronounce this. You should always keep 2 copies of both of them. As for the second skill they have, it doesn't matter. They don't have much. Own attack 2 is not going to shit you far. Alright, Raven. I don't remember what Raven has, actually. I know she is a fantastic unit to build because of Basilicos, but that one depends on the player. Basilicos is definitely fantastic, though. He also brings Soul and Threaten Death 2, which don't bother. Parry is there for Threaten Death 3. He's not fantastic, but he's there, I guess. Definitely decent enough for B tier. Sheena, just like Draug, is one of those units you should never send home. Ever. Sheena, and I'm saying this while when we're talking about Fodder, she doesn't have a lot. She has basically Slaying Axe if you give Killer Axe plus to somebody else. But that's basically it, right? It's not fantastic. However, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Because she is one of the 2 units that can hit 170 BST that is summonable in the 3 to 4 star pool. So yeah, she is insane to actually have and merge. If what you're going for is a core team for Arena, Sheena is definitely one of the best units for it. Otherwise, all she has is 45 armor, which, who the fuck cares? I'm still going to put her in S-. Or, you know what? You know what? I'm going to actually do something different. Wait, no, not here. Alright, this is going to make this things a bit easier. I do wish I could put 2 of them. Sheena. Oh. There you go. It's gonna be a bit easier that way. Sheena is just the best scoring unit possible, tied with Gwendolyn for Arena. This is why I was so happy when I got Speed plus HP minus, which by the way is the IVs you need to get on both Gwen and Sheena for them to truly hit the 170 BST bin. Alright, next is Abel, Swordbreaker. Swordbreaker is far better than any other breaker this game has, so obviously I'm going to put him in A+. Definitely fantastic for AA counters. Katria. Alright. Katria has Armored Blow and Luna. Basically worse Frederick fodder-wise, but Luna is definitely welcome, especially in a meta that is all about armored foes. I'm trying to go a bit quicker now because I'm looking at how much time I'm on right now, and 1 hour. Fuck. How many characters do I have to cover still? 63. Yeah. Cordelia, Braveland's Fodder, which can be good for characters such as Effie, but more importantly has Gale Force. As a result, I'd say A+. Yes, I'm actually putting this a bit over Chrom, because Chrom only has Aether to give, not Brave Lance, not TA2 if required. So, yeah. Corrin. Corrin has Draconic Aura and Own Attack 3. That is fantastic. So I'm going to put her in A+, because that's actually one of the few units I keep as many as I can, because there's a time where Draconic Aura used to be one of the best special in most cases, because armored units were not always there. So it made Draconic Aura so much better in so many cases that you just had to do this. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to put her in S-. Now, Donald. Donald has Brave Lance and Dragback. I don't think he has anything else. Let me check. Oh, Reciprocal Aid, but that's not really that fantastic anymore. For people who are wondering why I consider Ardent Sacrifice and Reciprocal Aid garbage, it's because they take too long to set up. It's fantastic and all that you can just, you know, hit Desperation on a certain unit, but the problem is, your unit is useless until like turn 3 at earliest. Yeah. It's too slow for a meta this quick. Alright, so as a result, what does he have? Oh, HP plus 5? Oh hey, that's funny, he has no skill at 5-star outside of Braveland's Plus. Well, it's not great. So as a result, I'm going to put him in, well, good old B tier. Alright, Effie. Death Blow 2 and Wary Fighter 3. She is the only fodder of Wary Fighter, and she is actually one of the best units for score as well. I will definitely put her there, but if you want to know where I would put her, and Sheena as a result, on the tier list, just for skill, she would be B or A tier. Sheena would be around A tier. That's about it. Est, oh boy, Est. Heavy Spear. Definitely is relevant nowadays. There was a time where that was extremely pointless for a skill. She also has Defiant Res for whatever reason, and Seal Speed, which does not really help. Also Shove, which who cares? It's not great. It's not great. So as a result, I would say the only thing she has is really like Heavy Spear. And she's also a decent unit with Brave Lance, or you know, Slaying Spear, which is the upgraded version of Heavy Spear. So I'm going to put her in A tier. Florina's Darting Blow and Reciprocal Aid. Yeah. B tier you go. Gwendolyn is a unit you keep for Arena. Straight up. In case you haven't noticed, those are all the fucking units that matters when it comes down to armor units, because the rest are 5-star exclusive. Not a single one has dropped since launch. Yay! Alright, Jagan is also like Gunter, A tier. Nowi. Nowi gives Lightning Breath, also Rally Defense, which and Threaten Res. Fantastic. So, I'd say keep 1 or 2 for Lightning Breath if you want to keep Tiki for Bonfire. Other than that, well, what can I say? She is not great for Fodder comparatively to Tiki. So 8 here she goes. Oboro has Heavy Spear, and that's basically it. She can also work pretty well as a melee counter to certain res. And if you run TA, you might even be able to kill in one shot Zelgus in certain cases. Be careful on that one because Zelgus is a melee tank. So this can actually end up not be good enough. So yeah, 8 here, just like Est. Odin has Moonbow, Blarblade, and yeah, that's actually pretty good. So obviously, I'm actually going to put him higher than the 2 Blade Tome because he just also has Moonbow on top of it. Threatened Death is very. It's one of those skills that is very ignored, but it's amazing on Brave Bows. It's ridiculous. 5 attack from that, then you can on top of that set up spurs and drives for the unit to just walk into it on the next turn. It's really fantastic. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Outside of that kind of situation where brave weapons are involved, threatened skills don't tend to be all that fantastic. And only on the user of said brave weapon users. So, I would say it's roughly 8 here. I'd definitely keep a copy for it in case of. Reinhardt is one of those units that if you haven't built those, you have been living under a rock. You should have one. It's one of the best counter for like literally any red unit in AA at the very least. He does not score too well, but he's a fantastic AA unit. Should be literally blessed for one of your seasons to score better as well. There's no reason not to do this at all. Outside of that, all he has is pretty much Vantage, so basically worse Lon'qu in terms of fodder. Robin. Robin has Bonfire, Raven, and that's pretty much all he has going for him. Yay. So it's really all about Bonfire, which again, as I said, as stated before, is a very present skill. I'm going to actually put him in actual A+ as a result. It's just that relevant. Shanna is S+ tier. It doesn't matter if you're a long-term player or a long-term player. A long-term player or a short-term player. Sorry. Desperation is useful in so many sets. I keep every single Shanna, and so should you. Subaki as well. Keep everything. Quick Riposte does not have a lot of units, and Subaki is one of the few that actually is. So yeah, keep it. Sully has Swordbreaker too. Just a slight worse able, so A tier. Oh boy, we're in colored as hell. At least until we go into banner unit where we are getting a whole one fucking unit added to the pool per fucking month. It's laughable. It's fucking laughable. Anyway, Azama has Pain Plus and Martyr, which tend to be a fantastic combo because you tend to want Pain Plus on a unit with bulk. Unless you have like Dazzling or Wrathful Fodder. So, as a result, he's quite literally S-. Corrin has Martyr and Fir, fucking Christ, Fear, which is basically a slightly worse Azama. It's still definitely useful. Glacies and Breath of Light, or Breath of Life, sorry. It's not great, honestly. Like, it's B tier at best, and I'm stretching it really. Gaius has Rogue Dagger and Rally Speed. Go fucking away. Gordon has Brave Bow. You should always have 1 or 2 copies of that, personally. Also, he has Attack +3 and Vantage 2. He's also fantastic for HM grinding. He can actually hold his own. I made a lot of people laugh because I have a level 40 3-star Gordon. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing with a 3-star Gordon? Favorited at 40. What? And then I showed him off, and my Gordon has 9,000 fucking SP. He can be fantastic for GHB grinding. Outside of that, he does not exactly have a whole lot going on. Brave Bow is still fantastic, and you should have, if you're a long-term player, you should have at least 3 Brave Bow for AA. So, fantastic fodder as a result. I'm definitely putting him in S- as a result. Attack +3 is also definitely welcomed. Jacob has Silver Dagger. I think that's basically all he has. God damn it, fucking alts. Rally Rez and Renewal 2, also Def +3. Yeah, no, C tier you go. George has garbage fodder, I can tell you that much. Like, the most relevant piece of shit that he has is Seal Attack. Fantastic unit though. One of the best archer, honestly, for AA if you're going to build them. Kagero has Poison Dagger and the only unit with Dagger Breaker. Wow, I really need Dagger Breaker to deal with dagger units. Oh wait, it doesn't even work on colored ones. Whoa, that's literally impossible. How do I ever deal with these? Yeah, sarcasm involved. So it's probably, at best it's B tier. Let me just verify, okay? If she has anything else. Warding blow, yeah, no. Klein S+ tier. I don't think I have to explain why. Quick Riposte, Death Blow 3, and on top of that Glacies, on top of that Brave Bow Plus. Everything he has is amazing. Rashisis has Physic Plus and Absorb, which Absorb is very, very underrated, and a lot of people on my stream have noticed it has been, because I finished my I finished the Rashisis project actually last stream. That's why my Fedder count, next time you see my account, is so damn low. I 5-starred like 7 units on the last stream and got them to level 40. So yeah. But yeah. Good old spur rest fodder. Yeah, no, C tier. Honestly, most dancers are going to be C tier. And I just realized that, because outside of those that have like a really good weapon, like Lissa's Gravity, and Gravity Plus is fantastic, Pain Plus is fantastic, they don't have any skill fodder, because they're fucking 1 passive, not 2, 1 is fucking luck behind 5-star. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? So yeah, this is A+ tier. Lucius, it's basically the same fodder as Azama minus threat and attack, I believe. But threat and attack is not 3 anyway, so it doesn't matter. Same as Azama then. Maria has Panic Plus and Physics. Yeah, hello C tier. How long has it been? Matthew has Rogue Dagger and oh boy, Poison Strike 2! Whoa! A fucking meta-defining skill right there. But he also has own speed, so he's A tier as a result. Niles has Iceberg and is quite literally the only summonable unit, I believe? Until that changed recently, that has Iceberg to begin with. Oops, sorry. So, as a result, I'm definitely going to put him in A tier. Priscilla's Panic and Rehabilitate, fantastic. Rebecca's Silver Bowfodder. Ooh, boys! Silver Bowfodder! Ooh! Actually, what are her other skills? I think they're very fucking garbage from what I remember, but... Ardent Sacrifice, Seal Attack, and Darting Blow. Yep, C tier it is. Actually, no. Darting Blow at 4-star is not that bad. I'm going to put you in B tier. Saizo is Poison Strike 3, Spur Speed 2? But Smoke Dagger, which is quite literally the best dagger skill, the best dagger of the entire game. So I'm going to put him in A+ tier just because of that. It's quite literally an amazing dagger for debuffing. Shakura's Physics and Fear, I think? Fear is actually pretty damn solid as well. Sarah is the only unit you can actually get for Recover Plus outside of 5-star exclusive units. S-, purely because of that. Also Absorb, which, Setsuna has... I don't think she has anything relevant. I think she has Reciprocal 8 and that's it. Which, on my grounds, mean fucking nothing. Oh, Bowbreaker. So, alright, I'd say A tier. Keep at least one copy, essentially. Virion is... It's one of the better Archer to 4-star plus 10, but... Outside of that... Hello, boys! Look at my massive, throbbing, juicy, silver bow. Yeah, no. C tier. Go away. Riz has Slow, Rehabilitate, and Live to Serve, the only unit in the 5-star pool, in the non-5-star exclusive pool, to have Live to Serve. It requires you 5-starring him, obviously, but really, it's pretty much the only way. Though, Live to Serve is a seal now, so I'd say at best A+. Oh boy, we are in the post-fucking units. How many is that? 23. Have we really only got 23 new units added to the pool since the fucking Ulm banner? Wow, that is depressing. Fucking hell. And most of them are not even that great. Let me just check what Claire has. I believe it's Spur Speed, Hit and Run, and Silver Lance. Oh, and Arch Command was the other one. She needs 5-star for Spur Speed. Fucking useful, guys. Hit and run is about as useful as drag back. Okay. I don't know what made this change, but you know what? I like it. Makes it easier to see what is what. Alright, so Claire has hit and run, and that's basically all there is to it. That's all she wrote, so B tier. Lucas is a must-have AA unit. This is not even a question. He is absolutely insane. One of the best red counter. Obviously Black Luna is problematic for the guy, but he has so much HP he can't even take it in most cases. Wodao is a different story, but you know, there's the big throbbing red sword. So yeah. Outside of that though, fodder wise, he only has Fortress Def 2, which is not great. Also has Obstruct, which is not great, but he has Killing Lance. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. Gonna put him in A tier, just like I did with Katria. Alright, Sorin. Sole user of Water Sweep that can actually be summoned. On top of that, Fortify Res is pretty useful. And I think he has an AoE? Let me check here. Yeah, Growing Wind. Growing Wind is not good. It is not good. But Fortify Res is definitely relevant, and so is Water Sweep, especially nowadays with how fucking annoying dragons are. So A tier. Especially with the new Dagger we've got too. Titania, alright. Titania's Guard, one of the few units that has it in the pool. In fact, I think she might be the only one. Can we fucking get Guard at 4-star, please? Like Guard 3? That'd be cool. And you also increase the cost so it's 240, so you can like just fucking kill Bolt Fighter somewhat. Have a meta that's more interesting than armored unit running Bolt Fighter every fucking time. But outside of that, she has Emerald X and armored. Oh, wow, that's terrible. But yeah, Guard is just relevant enough for me to actually say like keep at least a copy, so A tier. Bowie has Ignis and Renewal 2. Also Altom, which Altom is fantastic on Halloween Henry and certain other units, but mostly Halloween Henry. So I will say definitely good enough for A tier. Ignis is still extremely used. Actually, you know what? A+. A+. May has Altom, Blue Tome Experience. I know. Best skill. Desperation 2, which, considering how annoying it is to get Desperation Fodder, I can definitely understand you actually, you know, keeping her for Desperation 2. Also, the good part about Desperation 2 is you can use it, then kill Shana for Iceberg and Desperation 3. So I would say keep a copy if you are really hurting for Iceberg fodder. Athena's Moonbow and Wodao. This was the first unit in the actual pool to have Wodao. So yeah, definitely a solid fodder unit. I'm going to put it in A+. Rodrick has Fire Sweep, which is absolutely insane. To this day, the only unit with it. Drive Def 1, and I don't remember the last skill. I believe it's Drag Back, actually. Never mind, I remember. So, definitely a unit I would keep, especially if you plan on building a unit like Cordelia, or a unit like Shigure. Definitely a really good fodder, purely for Fire Sweep. not much else really really matters. I will put him in A+ as a result. Leon. Oh, Leon is guard. Right. Leon is guard, speed +3, Ignis, and slaying bow. I believe is the only source of slaying bow. This is why Niles is not like higher, because you can just get slaying bow from Leon. No reason for you to waste refining stones when they are so hard to get to begin with. So, I'm going to put him in A+ tier. Mathilda, Cancel Affinity, and Rider's Bane, I think it's called. It's not great. It really is not great. So I'm going to put her into B tier, especially since you have to spend 20k for Cancel Affinity, which already lost all of its luster in like 2 seconds. Seth is Fortress Def 3 fodder, which yeah, that's actually fantastic for healers if you want them to have like just bulk overall. Oscar is one of the best users of Fire Sweep. Outside of that is the sole user of Lancebreaker 3 in the pool. Arthur has 2, Oscar has 3. It's basically just a step up of Arthur. Why are you here? Arthur, go down, please. Oscar is also A+. Teltu has Blarblade, just like Odin. But unlike Odin, she also has Drive Speed, Double Rally, and oh my god, Double Rally. Yeah, you go up. You go up. But yeah, she has double rallies, which makes her S tier, honestly. Double Rally, Drive Def on top of Blarblade is just... You should keep every copy of her. That's just how relevant it is. Soleil. Soleil is here! Memes aside, she is a fantastic unit for AA. No surprises there. And I would even say she's a unit to keep for Arena. If, obviously, if you don't like to use Draug. Otherwise, use Draug. Draug is just better for scoring. That said, if Soleil gets a legendary weapon, she will score the same as Draug. Just know that. Otherwise, Soleil as is Drive Res fodder on top of Fire Sweep sword fodder, on top of Blazing Wind fodder, which is the best AoE with like literally no competition whatsoever. So if I were to put her anywhere, I would say S- to S tier for fodder. Sophas, Life and Death 3. Yeah. It's worse than Fury, mind you. Because if you're ranged, if you go for Life and Death, which is something you would do normally, because you're like, doesn't matter, my res is so high anyway, I can just take the loss and be fine with it. But now that dragon hits your death, that can actually get you killed, because your death stat don't tend to be that good. Thank you, Ias. So, yeah, as a result, I would say Soph is still relevant, but not more than S tier. Keep every copy, obviously, but it's nowhere near as useful. Dershil has Renewal 3 available, and I don't remember anything else of her because, goddamn. Oh, Rest Tactic. Rest Tactic. So basically, she's just the better Faye in general when it comes down to fodder. S-. Morgan Male has Dole Range 3 at 5-star. Outside of that, Let me check. Oh, double spurs, which is like one of the few C slot that actually scored 240. And Dragon Fang. So you should definitely keep him for just scoring in Arena in general. Keep like at least 2 copies, I'd say. Purely because, yeah, scoring in Arena. S- it is. Nana is the first dancer ever that IS gave 2 passive to. I hope this becomes a pattern. She got Speed Rest 2 and Drive Def 2. And Drive Def 2, she's the only unit to fodder for. As a result, Drive Def being so good, yeah, considering it's quite literally one of the best drives of the game that's actually available, I'd say she's still a solid like A+. Shigure is another unit to keep for Arena. Just like Soleil, she scores about the same, and if you compare Effie to Shigure, because Gwen is a must-have, Shigure, Soleil on top of Gwen and Sheena can do tactic shenanigans and guidance, okay? So you can do that kind of thing. But fodder-wise, he doesn't have anything also. All he has is Ward Flyer, which I guess that's great to see it's available on 4-star now. That's pretty much all I have to say, really. Now, Kaze, and you can see what units are left. From Kaze all the way to Libra. 10 out of fucking 10. I love the rate at which we get new units. Alright, so Kaze is Attack Smoke, Iceberg. So I was wrong. I was entirely wrong. I completely forgot Kaze had Iceberg until just recently. But he has Iceberg and Attack Smoke, which means you'd rather kill him for Attack Smoke, so the arguments still stand for Niles. And also Barb Shuriken, which is like one of the best daggers of the game. Definitely worth the S-. Ares says Draconic Aura, Brazen Attack Def, and I think a double seal B slot, which don't matter. This is premium fodder. Do not fodder him ever. S tier. Now you might wonder, why am I putting him under Fury Boy and Repool Boy and putting him on the same level as Palla? This makes no sense. Okay, let me just say, Brazen Attack Def is fantastic when it's active. The problem with Brazens in general is that you need to get to the point where Brazen becomes relevant, right? If you are not in Brazen range, your A slot is dead. Fury is always active. Fury synergizes with Desperation and other such skills. Vantage as well. So, there's not much synergy you can do with Brazens outside of, you know, getting to that point at one point. This is also why, like, double Brazen on Alphonse can be dangerous, especially if you use him in this arena season. It can be good as a gimmick, but is it going to be relevant as a utility? Not quite. Not quite. This is not to say that it's a bad skill. It's a fantastic skill to fodder, but just keep that in mind. You can't put this on a unit that has no bulk and hope this makes up for it, because you'll be dead before you can actually use it. Alright, Legold. I think it's self-explanatory. Attack Tactic Fodder, the only tactic in the pool available at 4-star. Fully available at 4-star. Yeah. Yeah, Legold is fantastic. There's no question about it. So, as a result, I would definitely put him at S- just because Tactic is so good. The Cleaner is not fantastic at all, it's kind of garbage, honestly. But it's still a decent dagger, if you have no other choice. Libra has Renewal 2! Yay! And Spur Speed Res? Wait, shit, that's Ryoma. What the fuck is your... I think it's Attack Res. Let me see here. Yeah, it's Noontime and Attack Res. Oh, right, my second guess was right. Attack Res 2 is the one that's available. It's a double spur, so that's good for points. Outside of that, not really worth anything. I will say, however, it's a unit to keep for Arena. This guy has 164 BST. Scores the same as Shigure or Soleil. So if you want a second green unit, Libra is your man? Outside of that, I think that's about it. I'd say this is a good enough version of this. And for those who are wondering, what the fuck is that lump of units? Those are the 5-star exclusives. 5-star exclusive or GHB, Tempest Trial units, etc, etc. So units that don't matter here. If you want me to make a video concerning this, like concerning 5-star fodder and how I feel about foddering versus merging on some of them, ask me in the comment. I'm not sure, like, if I'm doing that though, I'm going to have to do this in the same style as this. Just keep that in mind. Jafar also is not in C tier, it's just, yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, I think that's a good enough one. Now, I can already tell how people are going to wonder, am I going to keep this shit updated? I fucking wish I had a purpose in doing that, but I feel like I might update it once every 6 months, because every 6 months we'll have 6 new units to speak about. Yeah! Isn't that so fucking stupid that we get like 1 fucking unit added to the pool per month? Just add the fucking Tempest Trial unit, I don't fucking know. But yeah, I think that's good enough. So I'll see you guys later. Have fun with the... how long is this? Almost hour and 40-minute long video? Kill me. Sorry if that video has been so erratic though. This is an experiment. If you guys do like it, I might do a few more like these before. I might do a few more like this again. But outside of that, I'm going to leave it here. Have a nice day, everybody.